Hey, what's up guys? It is I, Mark Yoon, and I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video today. So the first thing I want to start off today with the Yoon fam discussions is I want to let you guys know that I have a lot of backup artwork that I have to get to this week, so there may be an interruption or two within content for this week. I'm not sure which days are going to have them or not, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep up the everyday schedule for this week. Next week will be a different story, but I have a lot that I have to get to. So thank you for understanding, and if you have any questions about that, you can leave them in the comment section down below. The thing I wanted to talk about today, our main topic of discussion, is actually the lack of content that not only was in the last patch, but just which recent events have caused things to bottleneck, and we haven't really had much communication on the end of either Bandai Namco or Soul Calibur themselves. If you go visit their Twitter, they just repost like characters' birthdays and then give like a brief description of the character and some character sketch design art or whatever, and then they retweet other posts that are having to do with Soul Calibur. So there's not really much coming out of their communication aspect right now, and I think that's due to a few reasons. 2.25 was a little bit disappointing of an update. It felt almost like a placeholder update, especially for something with a 5 or a 0 at the end for the update, because those are usually the bigger patches. The content saying that we are going to have free character creation pieces, and all we got was like one jack-o'-lantern accessory. While I don't really look at gift horse in the mouth, and it's nice to have something more than nothing, it would be nice to know that there was something more looming over the horizon that would get us excited, as opposed to kind of throwing us doggy biscuits and hoping that like we just accept them and move on. It wasn't just 2.25 too. It's like we know that like there's been obviously there's a pandemic, right? So like there's a lot of workflow that's been missed, and there's a lot of catch up that needs to happen. And now we also have the intricacies of next generation launching in like 2 months. So there's a lot of reasons this could be all conglomerating together, but we have no clue from their end. There's just a lack of communication. So what does this tell us? This is the question that I wanted to talk about today. The first and most obvious thing that we can discuss would be that Hwang, or the last character in Season Pass 2, is coming shortly, so they want to save more content for that patch to make it look more voluptuous and have more of a bite to it than like previous packs. So whereas we saw that we got some more reintroduced things from Soul Calibur 4 and 5 with Setsuka and the DLC 12 of 12 or 11/12, we obviously always get like more stuff from Soul Calibur 5 and 4 that we haven't gotten yet in this game, like reused assets that we're just missing, which I think was a decision that they probably made beforehand to leak that out to us to make it look like the DLC is much more full than it is. And I'm not saying that I don't like the DLC, it's the fact that this stuff was only planned since the ending patches of Season 1's DLC. And DLC beyond the first Season Pass wasn't even thought of until after the Season Pass 1 sold so well. But besides what's in the actual data files themselves, or what the developers are trying to communicate to us that they want us to see or accept even, there's also the the looming release of Next Generation, which could also lead to this lack of content. I think for the first time ever we might actually see a cross-generation Soul Calibur game. Now, besides the Soul Calibur 2 HD collection, which I don't know if you would count that, we've never had a cross-generation Soul Calibur game, meaning that they haven't released Soul Calibur 2 and then make a PlayStation 3 version of that Soul Calibur 2 with added content and features. I don't count HD remake because it was just a remake. it's not even. I mean, it's not even a remaster. It's just ups the resolution and gives us online play. That was pretty much it. I expected that even from the PlayStation 2, because a lot of the newer PlayStation 2 games even had online functionality as well as HD upscaling. So that was something I actually expected, but beyond that, for Soul Calibur 3, we never saw like Soul Calibur 3 on the PlayStation 3, or we never saw Soul Calibur 4 or 5 on the PlayStation 4, for that matter, and so on and so forth. They usually stick to whatever generation they're within and whatever console that they are adhering to at that time. I'm not saying these rules can't change, and I think it's actually a distinct possibility for this time around, because with the the data in the files for there being a Season Pass 3, or I guess I should say a possible Season Pass 3, just to protect myself. They could very well release a Season Pass post-launch or at launch and say, hey, this is the Soul Calibur 6 Collector's Edition, and if you purchase the game for $65 again for PlayStation 5, then not only do you get all the DLC that's released since then, but also included in that is Season Pass 3. And that could be a way to boost the sales of Season Pass 3, since it is looking like it's going to be the most lackluster of the seasons. There's not much else they can actually port over from 4 and 5 that they haven't already. There is a bunch of things, but it seems like I'm not sure what's actually going to transfer over and what assets are going to stay there. The biggest problem was with characters that were in 5 that aren't in this game. I mean, a lot of the replacement characters had different body styles than the characters that they were intended to replace. And then we also have characters that just aren't here, like Patroclus and Pyrrha and, Dampierre and stuff like that. So, with the polygons aside, with them having to fix the new character models with the new equipment and making sure there's not as many clipping issues as there should be, I think the reason to draw that out again is to fill the packs. So if Hwang does come out, right, and we don't get a stage for him, which is what I think is going to happen. Let's say we don't get a stage for Hwang, we just get his character creation parts, his hair, his costume, stuff like that. And what else are they going to release with that pack? Like, how are they going to justify the Season Pass price if there's no bang for our buck with the end of the extra character creation stuff, because it's expected with all of these, except for guests. So we have, but guests usually come with stages, so we have Hwang with nothing else, right? I think that's why they would release another DLC pack that would have all the Halloween stuff, for example. And we could have him release in late October around Halloween, though I doubt it. I believe this late in the game is probably going to be more like November, and we'll get a trailer for him in October. Maybe that's why they're trying to give us a few Halloween-y pieces before that patch actually releases. But that's just conjecture and speculation. I want to know what you guys think about that. I think we might actually get Hwang earlier, like in late October. But even if we don't get Hwang at that time, or whatever the next character is going to be, there is also that distinct possibility that we may see a collected edition for the PlayStation 5. Soul Calibur needs money, right? It's like one of those fighting game franchises is teetering on the brink of its eventual finality since Soul Calibur 2. So with that being said, and the way that they have all their guests paying for their packs, and like they need like the previous packs to pay for the new packs because they don't have a budget for the game, and it's a miracle this game even came to fruition in the first place. I think there is a real possibility that with all these companies like making their games for free, they may say, hey, you can have a free upgraded version of it, but like, here's also this version, it's got all the DLC with it. I don't know how well that would go over with people, and I'm not even sure if Bandai Namco would allow them to give it for free. I'm assuming that they're probably going to have them charge for it because it is Bandai Namco. But I don't know how that would work out in terms of the PlayStation 4 fan base or player base. Like, I know that like not everyone jumps on the next console bandwagon as soon as it's released, right? There's always like a grace period of like 2 to 3 years before the old crew usually transfers over to the new crew. I mean, majority-wise, obviously, because some people never transfer over or switch generations. So, what do you guys think? I want to know in the comment section down below why you think we've had such a lack of communication, especially like on Twitter, which is like your main hub for getting news out about Soul Calibur to like the world. Do you think it's because they're saving all their Halloween stuff, and they're saving all their other packs for the end of Season Pass 2? Do you think now that this also could be a distinct possibility that like this is them hinting that there is going to be a Season 3, because if there's no extra gear to put in Season 3 and they're planning to throw it all in Season 2, this may be a possibility also. That's why there's been such a skimping of character creation parts recently, because maybe they're trying to stretch it out to go through all of Season Pass 3 as well. Which of the three options do you guys think is the more plausible? And I want to know your thoughts on how you actually feel about that and the release schedule in the comment section down below. And let's start a conversation. Remember, guys, I'm not sure if there's going to be daily uploads this week. It may only be 2 or 3. I have to catch up on a ton of art. So with that being said, we're going to bring this video to a close. And thank you for watching and listening and commenting and all that other good stuff. And as always, thank you.
And thank you.
Hey, what's up guys? Have you always wanted some sweet Mark Yoon merch? Maybe a thick U shirt, maybe a shirt from Squirt, maybe my pretty face or my logo all over your body, or a throw pillow, or blanket, or anything? Well, you're in luck because I just launched my merch store and it is going to be available on Redbubble, and you will find a link to it in my description box down below. It's got a lot of quality content and a lot of good stuff for you to pick up so you can show your support for the channel and just rep Mark Yoon.